Hello, and this is Delia again, and I'm reading the Vampire Diaries, The Awakening. This is chapter 12. People were shaking their heads. Elena could see in face after face distrust blossoming. The distrust of anything unknown, anything different. And Stefan was different. He was the stranger in their midst. And just now they needed an scapegoat. The girl in the kimono began. I heard a rumor. That's all anybody's heard is rumors, Tyler said. No one really knows a thing about him. But there's one thing I do know. The attacks in Fell's church started the first week of school, which was the week Stefan Salvatore came. There was a swelling murmur at this, and Elena herself felt a shock of realization. Of course, it was all ridiculous. It was just a coincidence. But what Tyler was saying was true. The attacks had started when Stefan arrived. I'll tell you something else, shouted Tyler, gesturing at them to be quiet. Listen to me, I'll tell you something else. He waited until everyone was looking at him, and then said slowly, impressively, he was in the cemetery the night Vicky Bennett was attacked. Sure, he was in the cemetery rearranging your face, said Matt, but his voice lacked its usual strength. Tyler grabbed the comment and ran with it. Yes, and he almost killed me. And tonight somebody did kill Tanner, and I don't know what you think, but I think he did it. I think he's the one. But where is he? Shouted someone from the crowd. Tyler looked around. If he did it, he must still be here. He shouted, let's find him. Stefan hasn't done anything, Tyler, cried Elena, but the voice from the crowd overrode her. Tyler's words were being taken up and repeated. Find him, find him, find him. Elena heard it pass from person to person, and the faces in the druid rooms were filled with more than distrust now. I swear, it ain't one thing, it ain't another. Now I've done lost my battery power. Elena could see anger and thirst for vengeance in them too. The crowd had turned into something ugly, something beyond controlling. Where is he, Elena? Said Tyler, and she saw the blazing triumph in his eyes. He was enjoying this. I don't know, she said fiercely, wanting to hit him. He must still be here. Find him, someone shouted. And then it seemed everyone was moving, pointing and pushing at once. Parisians were being knocked down and shoved aside. Elena's heart was pounding. This was no longer a crowd. It was a mob. She was terrified of what they would do to Stefan if they did find him. But if she tried to go warn him, she could lead Tyler right to him. She looked around desperately, and Bonnie was still staring into Mr. Tanner's dead face. No help there. She turned and scanned the crowd again, and her eyes met Matt's. And he was looking confused and angry, his blonde hair ruffled up, cheeks flushed and sweaty. Elena put all her strength of will into a look of pleading. Please, Matt, she thought. You can't believe all this. You know it isn't true. But his eyes showed that he didn't know. There was a tumult of bewilderment and agitation in them. Please, thought Elena, gazing into those blue eyes, willing him to understand. Oh, please, Matt, only you can save him. Even if you don't believe, please try to trust, please. She saw the change come over his face, the confusion lifting as grim determination appeared. He stared at her another moment, eyes boring into hers and nodding once. Then he turned and slipped into the milling, hunting crowd. Okay, so I'm going to stop there and wait till the next part.